And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Talladega Super Speedway as we get ready for race number 24, chase race number 9 of Season 8 of the NNSCRA Mobil1 Cup Series. Coming into this race, it's going to be a pretty good battle between about 5 drivers in the points to see what the scenario will be heading into the season finale next week at Armory Digital Super Speedway. And I'm being joined with a guy here that actually has won at this track here in Mobil1 Cup Series competition. He won the first time we came here to this track, and he also tomorrow will be trying to vie for one of those final 4 spots in the chase for the Snickers Cup Series Championship. I'm being joined by Levi McIntire.
Hello, 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 hello.
And so as we're getting ready for this race here, Levi, this track, this Dega, it's able to hold them pretty well, and we went actually the entire Truck Series race without a caution flag. Do you think we're going to see that here today? Is it going to be more about pit strategy than it is surviving?
It just depends on how these guys are going to go out there and race. I mean, with how the truck race went, they were all just being conservative rather than go aggressive at the end. I mean, with these cars here, the Mobil1 Cup cars being faster, I think there's going to be a little more aggression going on during this race, and especially with guys who are on the outside of the top 5 in points that are wanting to get themselves in, guys like Levi McIntire, Charles Jackson, who are going to have to hope for guys up ahead of them like James McLeod, Dylan Poteet, so on and so forth, to run into trouble and hope they come away with great finishes if they want to stay in the hunt for the championship at Armory Digital next week.
And also that kind of throws in a unique twist. I mean, you try and find your way through scenarios where you think a wreck could happen. If we don't have a wreck happen today, these drivers are going to have to rely on their pit crews more than anything today to make sure that they have good, consistent pit stops and stay up in the front pack just in case this field gets all separated out.
Exactly.
So as we get ready for 29 laps of racing, Anthony McCurry starts on the pole position. Audi has yet to pick up a Mobil1 Cup Series victory as Anthony comes into this race currently 31st in the points, still looking for his first Mobil1 Cup Series win of the season. Alongside of him, a guy who is pretty much eliminated mathematically from the championship hunt, but would love to get a second win this season. Tristan Folks, the last couple of weeks have not been kind to that 22 as he'll line up from second. We actually see Andy Timmons starting up here at the front, which has been a long time since we've seen him get a good qualifying result. He'll start third alongside of Mason Wood. Yeah. But, we don't really have any of our championship competitors right up here close to the front of the field. I think the points leader starting off from 9th. But you got Charles Jackson in 6th there. How key is track position here at Dega?
Oh, it's extremely important, especially to some of the championship contenders, like I said, who are on the outside of the top 5, like particularly McIntyre and Jackson, who need to get up there and hope that other guys up ahead of them in points get in the back, so that way they can gain as much points as possible in order to get into the battle for next week. But yeah, in general, track position is extremely important, and drivers are going to try their hardest to find a friend where they find them and get up to a good spot up at the front and hopefully avoid the big one if and when it occurs.
Alright, so we're going to get these cars rolling off here. They'll complete a pace lap and we'll show you starting lineup on the top of your screen. Chasers are highlighted in yellow, but the drivers that are basically in the hunt for this championship still. James McLeod is the points leader by 11 points over Dylan Poteet. Then it's 14 points back to LJ Mills. Zach Hamlin is 4th in the standings. He's a total of 29 out, and Ricky Falcon is a total of 47 points out in the 5th position. If you're one of those drivers there from 1st down through 5th, what does your strategy vary as? Are you more conservative? Are you more aggressive? What do you think we're going to see out of those top 5?
I think those guys may try to go conservative in order to keep where they are in the points, so that way they can have a good car for next week, so that way they don't come out of this race with a shameful finish. So that way they can focus on the finale and hope to get the championship then. So I'd say they'll try to go more conservative here this week.
An interesting fact, too, we were talking about James McLeod starting up here in the 9th position. Dylan Poteet, I just saw, he's starting all the way back in 41st. So it'll be interesting to see how the two Turner cars where they're going to be, like maybe after 10 laps or so, because they're starting from entirely different areas of this starting grid.
Exactly, yes.
So Anthony McCurry, Tristan Folks will be getting us underway in this event. It's sure to be a wild one for sure. These drivers are able to go 4 wide and hold it. This is actually a track as well where NNSCRA has allowed the drivers to be able to use the apron on the back straightaway just as long as all 4 tires do not go beneath the yellow line. So that could come into play in the final laps of maybe a driver being able to make a move for the win.
Indeed, and also to keep an eye out for when or if the big one happens. They mostly seem to happen on the backstretch than anywhere else, from what I have seen.
As Anthony McCurry and Tristan Folks are going to lead us down 29 laps of racing here. The next to last race of the season in the Mobil1 Cup Series is green.
Boogity, 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 let's go!
That was actually quite cool.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's my gimmick in our community. Is the guy who does intros with the R rolls, like Alberto Del Rio.
Actually, that's Ricardo Rodriguez that does it, but okay.
Well, Del Rio does it.
Exactly. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Anyway, they're 4 wide already back there. Nick Alton, Caleb Farrell, they're starting to go 4 wide. Now, if this were basically any other Talladega race, we'd be freaking out right now. But this is a track that can actually hold 4 wide situations. And with that being said, I mean, you know, you got all these chasers up here, but you got non-chasers too that want to finish out the season with a win. So you've got them trying to be aggressive. You've got the chasers trying to be conservative. That could spell trouble if there's a scenario for a wreck to break out. That could be it.
Yeah, I mean, and you never know where or if it happens. I mean, but like I said earlier, from what I've seen in my time of commentating races in NR at Talladega, the big ones always seem to happen right around here on the backstretch, like the middle of the backstretch going into turn 3, and that's only because whenever they try going 4 wide, a couple cars might lean, and that'll kickstart the fire.
Yep, exactly. I've seen that too. I mean, it's a 4 wide, but it's too close of a 4 wide. An interesting scenario here. We talked about McLeod starting from 9th. He wanted to get out in front early here. Apparently, he kind of feels that maybe a potential wreck could happen, and he wants to be out ahead of it.
Yeah, and also as I'm taking a look at the points here, like I keep mentioning, guys like McIntire and Jackson, who are probably about more than 50 back, or in between 50 and 70, that are going to have to hope for McLeod and Poteet and guys like them that have to run into trouble if they come away with top 10 finishes if they somehow, some way want to stay in the mathematical contention for Armory Digital, but who knows if that's going to happen or not.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
as I see Bob Jones coming for the lead.
Yep, he's going to work with his Toyota teammate there, Carson Gum. And I'm looking to see, there's Dylan Poteet. He's worked his way up, now somewhere just inside the top 15, so he's really on a mission here too.
Yeah. And by the way, just as a funny thing, who started dead last, if you know?
That I don't know right off the top of my head.
Oh, because I was going to say, because an interesting side note was, yesterday I was co-commentating Dylan Young's Outback Series race, or no, it was Universal Cup race here at Talladega, and actually I'm not going to say it because you just have to see the race to believe it, but it was history making in there, so that's all I'm going to say. And Carson Gum goes for the lead with Collard behind him.
Yep, Collard right there. Joshua Collard, of course, a 2-time winner this season. His last win coming at the road course of Lime Rock. Collard just trying to finish out the season as best he can. And here comes Poteet. And look at this irony. Dylan Poteet is being pushed by the very guy who beat him to the line at Thornton last week, Justin Talampas.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and is that LJ Mills?
That is LJ Mills. Now the third place driver in points is coming up here.
Oh man. Guys running top 3 in points are trying to get up there as quick as possible, but I don't really see a McLeod up here yet.
No, McLeod got caught on the high side. I think he started dropping back. I saw Ricky Falcon near the rear of the field. He's kind of just hanging, but I do see fourth and point, Zach Hamlin. He's just between Kyle Matthews and Trent Dunham on that inside line. Now he's starting to work his way to the front. They're four wide for the lead.
They went nearly 5
Oh,
wide.
man.
Second.
Danny Wells going to go to the point now as a result of that. And he actually got a huge look at the gap he opened.
Yeah, that's not good though, because those guys are gonna come right up.
Oh, there's a wreck! We got our first wreck. Oh man!
They are coming back up.
Oh my goodness! Look out!
Like he got a piece of Levi McIntire involved, and who is that? Is that the Wolfgang Mason?
Wolfgang Mason flipped over Jake Rogers.
Oh my word!
You called it. Back straightaway.
Well, I mean that's always where they mostly happen. According to what I have seen at this track in all my time watching and commentating in NR.
There's Cassandra Renzi involved.
Yeah, and I saw Levi McIntire involved in their his championship hopes.
Andy Timmons started in a great spot of third. Well, apparently still no luck coming the way of the 25. There's Kyle Matthews. He was, I think, the first car. He and Jake Rogers were the first 2 cars I saw get out of line.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
There's Wolfgang Mason. We know he nailed the 19 of Jake Rogers.
Yeah.
Mason Wood possibly involved. Oh, there's a car upside down in the back straightaway.
McCrory.
That's McCrory.
Looks like they wrecked again.
Oh my goodness. The pole sitter.
Double play right there. Whoa, what in the world were they doing up there?
I don't know. I've never seen a car flip upside down on the back straightaway under a cool down lap at Dega.
Me neither.
There's Charles Jackson, and I don't know if he was involved in it. I saw him in the whole mix of that wreck, but he might have gotten through. Not certain, though.
He may have probably gotten right side damage, if anything at all, but I don't know.
I think Bob Jones might have been involved, but I'm not certain. I thought I saw a little left side damage on the 15.
Yeah.
But I think everybody... Oh, Tristan Folks!
Tristan Folks.
So that's our entire front row.
Wow.
I'm almost wondering if maybe he was the one that flipped over McCrory.
Yeah, maybe. And rear end damage, it looked like on Jacob Lawler, too.
So it must have been a stack up here. It looks like drivers are hitting the pit lane. The leader, Danny Wells, coming down. But there are some drivers that looked like we're deciding to stay out here under our first caution.
Well, hey, pit strategy is a virtue.
I'm not certain if I quite agree with it, though, because... Our pit window in the Truck Series race was somewhere between 8 to 11 laps, and we are right on the verge of getting close to that window. So I don't know if these guys that are staying out, I mean, they may end up having to pit under green then.
Yeah, and if we do go into a green flag run, or they could just be playing mind games with everybody, and they may come in next time by. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Yeah, this all could just be mind games being played on their part.
Well, the interesting thing is none of the chasers were any of those risk takers. Farrell, Dunham, Cody Lamas, and Mason Wood, all who have not yet been to victory lane yet this season, they were the ones to stay out. So, I don't know, maybe they just kind of feel it's an ultimate risk reward here to try and get a win before the season ends. But we've had a wreck on the back straightaway, and then something else happened on the following lap. Let's look back at a replay of what it was.
Indeed.
Well, using the helicopter view on the back straightaway, let's see how this wreck took place.
Yeah, and you can see Kyle Matthews and a lot of cars running the apron down there, which, depending on your car, I don't know if that's too much of a good idea, but if you can hold it, you can hold it. Oh, I'm almost thinking it was Bob Jones and Jake Rogers.
Yeah, that they just kept moving up there.
Let's see.
Yep,
that is indeed the case. They were just leaning, and Bob comes down into Jake and then down into Matthews.
That's Cassandra Renzi getting clipped.
Too.
Look at Zach Hamlin has to move up, and man, that's a close 4 wide heading into 3.
Yeah.
2 rows deep.
Yeah, indeed, that is 2 rows deep. And then Renzi gets up. Oh, Washer got a piece of it.
Yeah, tiny piece.
Still kept going. And then there's Timmons, McIntyre.
And look at Jackson. Jackson did get involved.
So, yeah, both cars who were hoping to get something good going for them to get into Armory Digital Championship contention. They're pretty much their dreams are done for
Yep, and
almost.
oh, here comes Wolfgang.
Yeah, right there into the 19, and then Wolfgang when it goes upside down,
And I think
and look
Andreas
at
Allen may get a tiny piece of it. Yep.
yeah, right there on the 19 of Rogers.
And Mason Wood, you see him driving away, he actually did get a tiny piece of Andy Timmons, and he was one of those 4 drivers that stayed out. So I don't know if he's got damage or not, so that could be an interesting thing when we get back to the restart.
Yeah, that will indeed be that.
So that's what put us under the caution. Now we had an incident take place in the back straightaway, which left the pole sitter Anthony McCurry flipped upside down. Let's find out what happened there. Well, this is when they were cooling down to be able to pace under caution. McCurry is the one on the inside there, Jessica Shelton just behind, and I'm not rightly sure what happens here.
Yeah, this was all just a big fustercluck to begin with. I don't know if I don't know if Jessica bumped into McCurry a little bit or McCurry just came up right in front of the 28. I'm not sure, but yeah, there you see the 61 going upside down, and the 28 goes spinning around.
And then watch back there. You talked about Lawler having rear end damage, Tristan Folks with his front end damage. There you see it. The 22 got into the back of the 14 in that stack up.
Yeah, look at that huge buckle on the 22 right there as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's able to even know where he's going right now. And look at Trent Dunham. He's trying to go further to the left, further to the left. Oh, man. And McCurry, I mean, that's like a freak accident. I mean, that's something you would have maybe expected to have seen in that, the initial wreck, but not under the cool down lap.
Exactly. I timed that too late. I was gonna play that for whenever Trent.
When Trent's trying to avoid the 61. Oh
yeah,
man.
Here's what Trent was maybe thinking in his car. But then after he got through, he'd be like, "Yes, yes, yes."
Oh man. But the ironic thing that we actually have found out is Anthony McCurry, after he teleported to pit road, he is still running. So he will be in the field still for the green flag restart. I don't know if he's still in the lead lap or not. We'll find out when we come back for the restart here at Talladega. Well, the lights are out atop the pace car. We're getting ready to go green, and the 4 drivers that stayed out, they're now going to come to pit road.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about that. That could be interesting in case we get another caution, and that way they could just get back up there without any incidents. So.
I mean, when you're pacing under caution, you're able to save more fuel. So maybe those guys were able to conserve about another lap, maybe lap and a half of fuel. And if this thing, as you said, goes into a green flag run, they may be able to make it the rest of the way on, who knows, maybe like 2 pit stops, whereas these guys may have to make it on 3.
Yeah. And we're back under green, and LJ Mills had a nice jump on that restart, but nobody went with him.
Nope, Gene Sanford going to stick on the low side and help Danny Wells. Now, we told you that Anthony McCurry is still running, and that is indeed the case. We're going to find the 61. He was upside down on his roof. He's right now getting a pit stop completed on his machine, as there's those other drivers leaving pit road. So McCurry will be on track very shortly, but he will be off the lead lap. And the drivers out of the race after the incident we just saw included Kyle Matthews, Tristan Folks, Jake Rogers, Cassandra Renzi, Andy Timmons, and Wolfgang Mason. So none of our contenders out of the race, but right now Charles Jackson, Levi McIntire, we know they both got some damage from that incident, so now they really need a miracle to be able to get back into contention.
Yeah, and then I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but then again, you never know. Talladega is so unpredictable.
I mean, right now, as I'm looking, I'm seeing the top 4 in the point standings running inside the top 10 right now. There's Zach Hamlin, the 43, Dylan Poteet and James McLeod are side by side, actually 3 wide, with the other contender, LJ Mills. So, all 4 of them running right up here at the front of the field. And one driver that's missing is Ricky Falcon. Don't know where.
I wonder where he is. Oh, there he is.
There he is. There. Yep, just at the tail end of this pack. So he's still in contention too.
Yeah. And I saw back there, it looked like Silver Fox was a little wobbly back there. for a split second.
Yeah, James Silverfox bringing up the rear here. Silverfox has a Mobil1 Cup Series win this season at a restrictor plate track. That was back at Coca-Cola, so maybe just waiting, biding his time. And there goes Sean Galligan right down to the apron. Apparently that rear end damage on Jacob Lawler didn't affect him at all.
Yeah, he's still able to keep going, it looks like.
And we got a new leader. Zach Hamlin has gone to the point now. Hamlin's still looking for his first win of the season in Mobil1 Cup Series competition. And he's being pushed there by James McLeod. And this is interesting that James McLeod would actually help a driver that's trying to run him down for the championship go to the lead at Dega.
Yeah, indeed.
Danny Wells right there in third, Carson Gumm in fourth. There's Dylan Young in fifth. Dylan Young, former winner this season, but hasn't won since the third race of the season at Las Vegas. He'd love to be able to get back to victory lane. And just dropping back there now is the Dylan Poteet machine. He and LJ Mills have kind of lost touch with James McLeod and Zach Hamlin as they're four wide up ahead. No love for the points leader. He got the short end of the stick on that one.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
And ironically, the driver that made that four wide move was actually his Turner teammate, Dylan Young.
Oh, Dylan Young trying to go for a win so you can finish off his season on a high note.
I mean, at this point, this is the points aren't exactly super close, so you kind of have to put aside.
Oh, they're going to be catching a few cars up ahead.
That's McCrory now returned back to the track. Cody Lamas over in the middle of turns 3 and 4. And McCrory with flipping over, you got to think he's probably not up to speed.
Yeah, and this could potentially cause a wreck.
Oh man, they're going to catch him right here in the middle of the corner.
Yeah, and now that low line's going to get held up. Well, now he moves up high. Now the high line's going to get held up.
Oh boy, and I don't know if any of our chasers are in that outside line. Yeah, Poteet's up there. He's got to get to the middle groove quickly.
Yeah, and fast.
Ricky Falcon, James McLeod, they get by. LJ Mills now about to go by as Poteet's still caught up there.
Yeah, but luckily for him, McCrory's down in the middle groove, but now he goes back up.
Oh boy.
I don't think those guys up there are going to be too happy with McCrory.
I don't think so either. You got Danny Wells, who was up at the front quite a bit in this race. Carson Gumm, Nick Alton, and Joe Davis all getting held up on that outside line, and that's going to lose Dylan Poteet loads of track position here. Whoa, Matthew Dallio getting a little squirrely in that corner. Oh, are they going to pit? They are pitting.
It looks like it, yeah. I saw the 99 go down, so too did the 15.
There's third in points LJ Mills. He's pitting. We'll see if McLeod is pitting. Nope, McLeod stayed out. Poteet's in. And what about Zach Hamlin? Nope, he stayed out as well. He's actually the leader right now. He and Dylan Young. Those two actually got around McCrory on the high side and actually broke away, but you can see that second pack has caught them pretty quickly.
Yeah, and now with these cars going to come and pit here pretty soon, who knows how the running order is going to look after all this is said and done. And I see, Zach Hamlin pulling off a little bit of a surprise by looking like staying out, now coming down and beats Dylan Young into the pit.
Yeah, just barely beats him in there, just barely cleared him. Galligan's in, Collard. One driver that did stay out, though, was the points leader, James McLeod. He stayed out with Stephen Pollard III and the new leader, Jessica Shelton. So McLeod kind of risking it here, but McLeod comes in with an 11-point lead, and you see him bypassing Dylan Poteet here. So even if he runs out of fuel coming to try to get to pit road, it looks like he'll be pretty much okay, at least this time. So maybe just trying to continue to grow his points lead here and outthink the other drivers that are trying to strategize to run him down for the points lead.
Could be, yes.
As I expect, these three will be hitting pit lane this time, and indeed that will be the case.
Yeah, and just to think they almost were about to catch Cody Lamas on track if they would have stayed out an extra lap.
Yeah, and Cody Lamas, apparently that strategy we saw Lamas, Dunham, Farrell, and Mason Woodall utilize didn't exactly work out. Cody Lamas coming down on the exact same lap that the leaders are coming down, and he and those other three, I think, were about one lap better on fuel. So now everybody's kind of back on equal sequence. That's not going to work out for those 4 drivers who tried utilizing strategy earlier on.
Yeah, and don't forget we could see these guys pit maybe one more time at about like lap 24, 25, I would say.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
And the interesting
so
thing
we
is,
got
too, with
time.
that being said, I mean, that would be somewhere between 5-6 laps to go. Would that be enough time with the way that the pit stops seem to spread the field out for the field to bunch back up and us to have a number of contenders up there for the win?
It depends on how fast their stop was and how quick they get up to speed.
So Dylan Young is going to cycle around, I'm pretty sure, as the leader. Zach Hamlin, who I've called the underlying underdog in this whole thing, just barely got into this chase. He's been consistent. He's still mathematically in the hunt for the championship, and he's one of 3 rookies that are in the hunt for this championship here. He's running second. And look at this, the 3rd and 4th place drivers, Sean Henley and Sean Galligan. 2 drivers, 2 former NSCRA champions. Neither one of them have been to victory lane yet this season in Mobil1 Cup Series competition.
Well, that's the Sean's for you.
And of course, both of them eliminated from the Snickers Cup Series championship hunt a couple of weeks ago back at Indianapolis. So they're trying to at least finish out Season 8 as well as they can here. Henley and Galligan have wins in Snickers Cup. Galligan also a win in trucks. But they want to win here in Mobil1 Cup Series if they can. They've caught Cody Lamas here, who I think is still up to speed, but now, think about it, maybe a lap machine could come into play, and who's going to win this race?
Yeah, and I see Zach Hamlin. He's going to go by Dylan Young for the lead.
Yeah, utilizing fellow Ford Mustang Cody Lamas to be able to get by. So now, after the cycle of pit stops here, let's see where the chasers are running. We know Zach Hamlin's in the lead. James McLeod, the points leader, where's he at? He was 14th last time by. This time by, he scored in 16th, so still running pretty well.
Yeah.
Dylan Poteet is running in 25th, so this is not going to help him close up the gap for the points lead at all. LJ Mills, I didn't see the 54 at all. Oh, he's up here in 11th, so right now he's actually the 2nd highest running, and he's about to lose that to Ricky Falcon.
Yeah, Ricky Falcon right there next to him. Now, it looked like earlier after the first wreck happened, it looked like I saw the 60 was still going. I don't know if he still is or not. Where's he where the 60's running?
Yeah, I think both Charles Jackson and Levi McIntire are running. McIntire right now in the 29th position. Actually, those two are battling for 29th right now, Levi McIntire and Charles Jackson.
Yeah, because I thought I remembered seeing the 60, and it looked like he got his damage repaired during the caution laps whenever he was in pit road.
I think you might be right, because I think they are still up to speed, actually. I mean, the 28, we know, ended up getting involved in that incident with McCrory, but I think the 32 is not damaged. I think he's up to speed as they're trying to work their way by the damaged machine of Rohit Vedaravu right now. But who knows? I mean, something could happen here. They could maybe try and stay out, maybe come away with a finish on fumes. I mean, it still is possible for them to get mathematically in the hunt, but the big key for them is the fact that they need this guy to encounter some kind of problem. If McLeod finishes up here, it doesn't matter whether Jackson or McIntire end up winning. They're not going to be able to get themselves mathematically in the hunt because of McLeod's good finish.
Indeed, yes.
As we move back up here to the front of the field, and
Dylan Young looks like is in the lead.
yeah, they kind of broke away again. Oh, I guess they caught the slower car of Jacob Lawler, maybe. Well, no,
Yeah.
he's not slow. He's 6th. I don't know what broke them all up then.
Maybe it could have been Cody Lamas, but then again, he's up to speed.
Yeah, he's up to speed too. I don't know if maybe they encountered a car that we didn't see, and it split them up or something, but
Maybe it could have been Rohit Vedaravu.
it very well could have, actually. You might be right.
Yeah, because we ended up seeing him all of a sudden with the 11, the 60, and the 32, and the 28. But yeah, and now Dylan Young going by Mason Wood and Andreas Allen.
Yep, they're going to go a lap down now. Mason Wood and Andreas Allen getting involved in our only caution of the day And laps are winding down. I think maybe Dylan Young's coming to pit road.
Let's see, and yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Galligan's coming in. Gene Sanford, Jacob Lawler, rear end damage and all, running up there in the top 10. He's coming in. Here comes Falcon and LJ Mills. So there's a couple of our chase contenders coming in.
And there's Bob Jones, Talampus. And here comes Collard, Wells, Alton, and the 18.
Bob Fergus in the 18, and looks like only 2 chasers decided to come down this early. Now, I'm pretty certain they're going to be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel with this last pit stop. I'm pretty certain, but then again, this is Dega. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and also I've seen it before in my series, the NNSCRA One More Cup series, where my brother, Levi McIntire, was the leader on the last lap, even though it looked like he had enough fuel to go the distance, but he ended up having to come down pit road on the last lap and lost the race.
Boy, is that in the future for one of these drivers? We'll be finding out. Zach Hamlin's in, Mason Wood, there's Nick Smith, trying to see if any of the other championship contenders are coming in. There's Jackson coming in. Looks like McLeod and Poteet may have decided to stay out an extra lap.
Yeah.
There's Poteet back there. He now has cycled to, well, he's running 30th, but unless he pitted before we saw that. Maybe he ended up pitting before these cycle of pit stops even happened. Don't know, but now here comes the leader, Jessica Shelton, in.
Yep, and Cody Lama's right behind her too, so...
And Shelton's got a Snickers Cup Series win here at Dega earlier on this season, so she knows how to win this track, and this could be some good strategy for her to be able to try to utilize here. She's already mathematically eliminated from the championship here, but if she could win tomorrow in the Snickers Cup Series race, that guarantees her a spot in one of the final 4.
Indeed.
You know, talking about that, you know, you're actually in the hunt for that. You actually had great runs at Talladega, or not Talladega, I'm sorry, Texas and Thornton, which has you really in a good spot of being able to make it into that final 4. What's the strategy for, like, the mindset, knowing that you have an opportunity at that? Oh, well, there's a caution. Wow.
Caution's out, and who knows if we're going to be able to get back to race. I think maybe with like 1 lap to go. So
yeah, we might be able to. Oh, Joe Davis on pit road. Hood all smashed up.
Oh, man.
And he was scored in the 16th position at the time.
Man. Yeah, I saw him up at the top 10 a few times. He had a solid run going.
And what a timely caution for Jessica Shelton. She was on pit road when the caution came out. She crossed the stripe coming out of pit road, still as the leader.
Wow.
So talk about timing.
Timing, yeah.
Man.
And with this caution, now it's definitely certain that they can probably make it the rest of the way on
right,
gas.
They'll be able to save fuel.
Yeah. But I mean, like it was. Oh wait a minute, did Dylan Young? No,
he's second. I think McLeod after this is going to be 3rd. Or wait a minute.
Or he's probably going to go back to where
oh
he
yeah,
was
yep, he scored in 9th.
Yeah, they're just going by him now.
3rd place. Who is 3rd? Galligan is actually 3rd. Farrell is 4th. Hamlin 5th. Carson Gumbs 6th. Then Henley, Gene Sanford, then McLeod, and then Ricky Falcon.
So you have 3 out of the 5 championship contenders up in the top 10 right now.
And now Caleb Farrell going to have to give up the 4th position to come to pit road. I don't think he had yet pitted. I think he was actually going to pit on the next lap around if that caution did not come out. But Jessica Shelton is still going to be the leader. We'll probably get back green. I'm thinking maybe for a green-white checker, but we got to see what happened to Joe Davis to put us under the 2nd caution of the day here at Talladega.
Indeed.
Well, this is going to be an incident coming off of pit road. Mason Wood and Chris Washer battling for position, I think, and yeah, right back up the racetrack.
Oh, that was a hard hit for Mason right there.
And look at Ricky Falcon. Oh my goodness.
So close.
Down in front of Andreas Allen. And then here comes Joe Davis.
Right into the right rear. Man, that was a pretty hard hit right there.
Yeah, it was, and I think, oh boy, I don't know what Chris Washer was thinking here.
Uh, he just pretty much came to a sudden stop. Oh, he did touch him a little
Touched him
bit.
a little bit there, but I don't think
Now,
that's going to hurt him too badly.
yeah.
But boy,
And
that just
I was gonna say when that started, it looked like Washer was really, really upset at how Maze. Oh, Silver Fox actually swiped him a little bit from the looks of it.
yeah, I think so. But there's something underlying there. I mean that you don't see them beating and banging each other off pit road like that unless there's something going on.
Yeah, I think from the looks of it, I mean, if we could take a look at it one more time, just to see what really went down, and maybe go from the helicopter camera, that'll probably give us a better view of what truly happened. As yeah, Mason came out first, and then Washer, he's got a little more speed with him whenever he comes into the picture. Let's see what really happens. I don't know if Washer ran into him or Mason came up a little bit on him. I'm not sure. We'll see here.
Watching here if we can to see if Mason Wood. I don't see Mason Wood changing his direction at
Yeah,
all.
Washer just ran into the side of him.
Yeah, and you know it almost looked like Washer had a purpose to go up there to the two because just the way that gap closed up so quickly between the two of them, it was like Washer had a purpose of getting up there.
Yeah,
Be interesting to
yeah,
find out what that purpose was, but
yeah, but you could definitely tell Mason Wood's probably not going to be too happy with Chris the dishwasher.
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, and there you see the three of is that Nick Smith?
Yep.
Yeah, he just barely touches him, but that ain't gonna really hurt him, or at least it won't as much as I would say. But yeah, there you see Matt Dalio and Pollard the third going on by as the two's just sitting there, and when here comes the 34, just a little side swipe, but I think Silver Fox will be all right.
Yeah, I think so too. It did kind of hurt those drivers that had just come off the access road off of pit road. They had to slow down for that, and that may have lost them some spots here. But we're getting ready for a shootout here at Talladega. Let's go back and find out how many laps we're going to have to finish out today's race. Getting ready to go back to green. Lights are out atop the pace car. 3-lap shootout to finish out today's race here at Talladega, and we're pretty certain that everybody's going to be able to make it on fuel. Jessica Shelton's the leader. She has a lap car between herself and Dylan Young, who will restart second. Sean Galligan's third. Zach Hamlin, right now the highest running of the drivers, still in competition for the championship. He's fourth. Fifth, Carson Gums. Sixth place will be Sean Henley. Gene Sanford is now up in seventh. Points leader James McLeod's eighth. Ricky Falcon, fifth in points, is ninth. And completing the top 10 is Jacob Lawler. The rest of the drivers, they're still in the hunt for the championship. LJ Mills restarts in 12th, and Dylan Poteet restarts in the 16th position. So they're all up here.
Yeah. And that is not what guys like I say, McIntyre and Jackson wants. More particularly McIntyre, because he was a little more closer to getting in mathematical contention than Jackson was. But there goes both of their potential championship hopes as we're back underway, and Shelton, with help from that lap car of Cody Lamas, going to get off to a nice distance.
And you know what I just saw? I saw Ricky Falcon immediately make a move down low, putting James McLeod to the high side. So that's a bit of strategy there on the part of the one. Get that 51 back there as quickly as he can, not give him any time to work his way back to the front.
Yeah, and Falcon will definitely need to stay ahead of McLeod if he wants to definitely be in contention for next week at Armory Digital.
Here comes Cody Lamas. Now this is a lap machine trying to get back on the tail end of the lead lap underneath Jessica Shelton. As I said before, that lap car could come into play into who's going to win this race. And here comes Zach Hamlin, 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah, underneath of Young and Shelton, and it looks like he might get it because he's got help from Gene Sanford and Chris Washer.
I mean, you don't have a win this season. You're up there in the hunt for the championship. Why not risk it? Why not go for it?
Especially with a lap and a half to go.
Oh, and look who's coming up the inside line. The guy who ran over Mason Wood there on that caution. Chris Washer's going up to second.
Yeah, and I saw they were 4 wide for about third on back.
Yeah, Henley's gotten caught way up on the high side there. Now McLeod's made his way back to the inside, LJ Mills, and here comes Dylan Poteet up the inside line as well behind Danny Wells.
Where did Poteet come from?
Oh my goodness, they're all up here with the white flag being displayed. Danny Wells now at the front.
Yeah, and I see back there Ricky Falcon. He needs to get by the 51 if he wants to be sure to be in contention, because he came in 47 back. If he finished behind McLeod.
Oh, McLeod!
Yeah, I was gonna say, because if Falcon doesn't finish ahead of McLeod, I think Falcon's championship hopes are pretty much done.
And now it's Danny Wells having to hold off the top two in points. Poteet behind him with James McLeod in the 51.
Oh man, it's who's gonna get to the lead here.
Is Poteet gonna make a move? Would his teammate go with him? Can Danny Wells hang on?
I think he's gonna hang on.
Danny Wells is gonna hang on and capture his second win of the season as he wins here today at Talladega Superspeedway.
Wow.
And Poteet finished one spot ahead of McLeod. He came in only 11 points back coming into this race. It's going to be 10 points now that McLeod will have over Poteet heading into next week as they both leave with top 3 finishes today.
Wow. And then Zach Hamlin, it looked like he got a top 10 out of that, didn't he?
I think he did. Let's find out where the 43 was. He was 12th.
Oh, so he got outside there. But hey, he's still...
I think he still is mathematically in, though, because, let's see, with McLeod finishing 3rd, that's 9... Yeah, he'd be 32 points out now, I believe, so I think he still is... I think he's still in the hunt.
Yeah, and LJ Mills still in there, but...
Yeah, LJ finished really well, too.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Ricky Falcon's going to be the guy who gets the short end of the stick. His championship hopes are pretty much over because he didn't finish ahead of McLeod.
Yeah, finishes 15th today. That's a 12-point advantage today for McLeod over Falcon, and that's going to grow the advantage between the two of them to about 62 points. The number you have to be is 46 in order to be in contention, so I think you're right. It looks like now we've whittled it down from 5 contenders to 4 heading into the season finale.
Yep, it's going to be McLeod versus Poteet versus Mills versus Hamlin. 2 legends and 2 rookies.
Man, it's going to be an interesting battle, too. And for James McLeod, it's all about redemption. That one time that he lost the championship to Pichu London in a 5-lap shootout at Zenjoltis because the two of them were tied by the time the checkered flag waved at the season finale. So he's going to have to try and hold off his teammate and 2 very eager rookies as well next week at Armory Digital Super Speedway. Well, Levi, I want to thank you for joining me here today in the booth for this race.
Hey, no problem, man. Congrats to the Gene Simmons of the NR community.
Oh, boy.
He probably doesn't get the joke, but if he does, then he'll understand what I mean.
Oh, man. So
he's probably going to hate me now for that.
Yeah, probably will.
But then again, he already hated me. So
Danny Wells picks up his second win of the season, and we just got one more race to finish off before we'll know who all the competitors are going to be for their respective championships at the season finale weekend at Armory next week. Snickers Cup Series race from Dega will be coming up next. Levi, you'll be taking part in that. Good luck to you there.
Hey, thanks, and definitely, like you was going to say earlier before that caution came out, yeah, I'm definitely hoping to try to be more conservative in that race because I got a big points lead over the rest of the drivers in the hunt, so definitely want to stay conservative and not go crazy, but you never know what I might have under my sleeve.
Absolutely. He's got a win here at Dega. Came in the Mobil Cup Series race, so yeah, watch out for that 60 car tomorrow.
Yes.
Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to get part of the crew today. Here comes your official full finisher results from today's race at Talladega. More caution-filled than we've had pretty much this whole weekend, with the possible exception of Last of Us Light Series. It'll be interesting to see with this kind of race what kind of race we'll have tomorrow in Snickers Cup with an extra 9 laps added onto the scoreboard. But we'll see you guys next time here. Here comes all the stuff you need to know heading into next week. 4 drivers still in the hunt for the championship, and we'll see you guys next time here on the Industry Sports Channel, Offline Racing at its best. Also, be sure to subscribe to Levi McIntire's channel. Link to his channel is in the description, and we will see you guys next time.
Yeah, you better subscribe or I'll come to your house and ruin your life.
Yeah, he's taking over Mobil1 Cup Series next season, so be nice to him. Bye, everybody.
See ya. Shears just got turned by the lap machine of Charles Sanford, but now he's got left side damage. But he still opens up his distance. He still keeps a distance between himself and second place McCurry. But all that ground he gained, he just lost right there. But what a save!